What's up guys, you're watching Li-Fi TCG. If you saw my last Legacy video, then you'll know that I was playing Death Shadow. In Legacy I've been playing that for a while, and for the new format I suggested a build with no Delvers and 4 Vantress Gargoyle main deck. But I also, gave it the disclaimer that I hadn't done any testing and it was all like theory crafting. So I'm happy to report back today that last weekend I played my local Legacy tournament and I won a box. So first place, not a very big event, only 4 rounds and then top 4. So I'm just gonna go through the deck list because there's not really too much else to say about it. So 4 Death Shadow, 4 Street Wraith, 4 Vantress Gargoyle, strong card, very impressed with it. Then onto the spells, 4 Hinted Tourach, 4 Force of Will, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Daze, 4 Ponder, 2 Stubborn Denial, very good card with the Gargoyle, reliably have a 4 power creature, no problem. 4 Brainstorm, 1 Fatal Push, 2 Dismember, and 1 Reanimate. So that's 42 spells, and we have 18 lands, 2 Underground Sea, and 4 Watery Grave. Four Wastelands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Fetchlands, and that's the deck. And then the sideboard, 2 Liliana's Triumph and 2 Liliana the Last Hope, 2 Submerge, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Plague Engineer, 2 Force of Negation, 2 Ratchet Bomb, and 1 Infernal Contract. So for the actual tournament itself, round 1, 2-0 versus Dredge. Got my revenge against that deck from the round 1 at the All-Up tournament a couple months ago. Then 2-0 against Eldrazi. The more aggro version with like Endless One and Mimic and stuff. That's much easier to beat generally than the post versions or the artifact mana versions, just because they can't really activate Ayabugan. So yeah, not too difficult of a matchup, I don't think. So 2-0 against that. Then I lost 2-0 against Elves. I think just a combination of bad luck and maybe some suboptimal sideboarding choices. But in general, I think the matchup's pretty favoured. I used to think that with Rug Delver, the matchup was quite bad, at least before Arena 6 was printed. But when you have the black sideboard cards, now you have Plague Engineers, Submerge, and the Lilianas. Elves is pretty easy matchup, I think, most of the time. I think I just got a little bit unlucky with those games. So 2-1 so far, and then I beat Rug Show and Tell. So I assume he was playing Veil of Summer main deck, and he had Oko in his sideboard as well. So the this was like the only matchup I got to play where I got to see the like Veil versus him to Tourach dynamic, and I just set it up so that like every time I cast him to Tourach I had counterspell backup for Veil and it was fine. So yeah, that was 2-1 win. So now on to top 4. I played against the same Elves player from the Swiss. I beat him 2-0 this time. Then the finals was against the same Dredge player and I beat them 2-0 as well. So nice positive result, but not the most informative in terms of lessons that can be learned about how well the deck can really fare in the current format, because all those decks like Elves and Dredge and stuff, you know, they're like the same lists that have been around for a long time. So it's nice to know that, like, you know, the deck still does well against those like it did before, but it doesn't really tell us anything new. So the deck feels like it plays well, just like all the ratios of everything. As I think I said in the previous video, the only thing that feels kind of flexible is like maybe you want to play some Snuff Out instead of Dismember, or you can cut the Reanimate. That's kind of like a fun off at this point, but I think it's still good enough, and there's not really anything better that I could suggest. If you just wanted to play like one more cantrip or something, that of course that would be fine. So yeah, so I don't think the deck is like super unplayable or anything. Obviously it's still got legs, but if you were gonna play this for a big event, definitely try and get a lot of games in versus like Bat Miracles, so you can figure out whether that matchup's actually winnable or not, and try and develop a sideboard plan for that, because I expect it's going to be a pretty big uphill battle for this archetype, and it also seems to be really popular at the moment as well. So that's all for me today. This has been Life TCG signing out.